Everybody would love to have a custom cowboy hat, but who's got $500+ to spend on one? I don't. What about if you could take just something off the shelf, just like this, the cheapest 3X full wool felt pressed cowboy hat you can find on the shelf, bog standard, but only what you have at home right now, including just a $15 steam iron. And I'll show you exactly how to custom shape it yourself, step by step, in today's Western wear. Let's get wild, baby. Woo! During one of my insomnia fits at like 3 o'clock in the morning while I was up editing, I decided I needed a break, a mind break, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and reshape this hat. So I did an entire redo of the crown altogether into a more of a fedora-esque style, more outdoorsman, keep it low, keep it wide, keep it wild. And I did it at 3:30 in the morning. So it's gonna be done in the bathroom, just like you guys would do at home, maybe on an evening right before you go to work. We're gonna cut over to that scene there. I'll do the voiceover, we'll cover all that stuff. I'll walk you through step by step of how I did it, how we shaped it, how to make a very, very custom design. And then of course, now we gotta do the rest of the treatment for it. So you can have exactly what you want without having to spend the big bucks. Yeah, you look like you did. It's a cheat, I tell you what. Life hack. Let's get rolling. Stop wasting time. Stop yapping. Like some of the commenters said. Let's go.
All right, well, here we are at 3:38 in the morning. Let's go ahead and get this steaming going. So first, you always want to make sure you get your steam rolling first. We're set on wool right now. And what we're doing is we're taking every little kink and every little crease out. Make sure we have a nice, flat, even edge. Make sure you always get that steam rolling first. You do not want direct dry heat onto your fabric. You can definitely ruin it. Let's go ahead and work on the crown a little bit here. So in order to do this, we're going to have to soften up the felt, and this is what the steaming does. We're going to go ahead and start shaping in our initial peak here. Nice tight pinch. You have to hold it until it cools down. I'm also modifying the top edge of the crown here, the crest. Make sure it looks clean, make sure it looks aligned. You just have to hold it in place here until it starts cooling down. Pretty simple. It's about 20 to 30 seconds of steaming. You can do direct heat with this iron because it's a little bit weaker than the old one. But you want to get the steam rolling first. You want a level of steam, not direct dry heat. Go ahead and pinch and modify here, and you see it starts holding its shape. Very nice. Make sure everything's even. Let's go ahead and start finalizing each of the sides here. And we're going to steam a little bit further back, so this way we don't have a crease. This way it actually looks like it's an even sort of crescendo, decrescendo type of look. Making the crown a little bit sharper here because this also helps hold the shape, but also gives it that cleaner look as well. Check and make sure we are level and even and centered. Work my way back nice and slowly. You don't want to collapse it, so that's why we're making sure it's softened up first. Make sure everything looks alright. Just go step by step. Now here we go again. I'm going to get the peak set in a little bit more. We're going to steam a little bit lower on the crown. You just want to steam section by section here. And just work your way in. This way we can drop the tip a little bit lower. Nice and slow. Make sure we get everything nice and aligned. Just go step by step, part by part. Even if you steam a little bit further back so you don't end up with a crease, that's perfectly fine. You can always re-steam it again to start the shaping. I'm kind of mocking it in a little bit here. Let's go ahead and go a little bit further back so we don't have such a sharp decline. It's kind of spitting on me here, but that's fine. Make sure we get the steam rolling. And make sure we set it in correct. Also want it to fit properly on our head, so take a time every now and again to put it on and see how it fits. Here we go, we're going to go ahead and get our crest here a little bit better set. And it looks pretty crisp, looks pretty good. And let's go ahead and work on the brim here. We're going to go part by part. First we're going to do the tight curl set in. And I'm going a little bit further back onto the brim here so that way we don't have a sharp crease. Now you're going to roll it with your palm. And then with your thumbs, to make a little bit of a finger indent, you're going to roll it in. You see how I'm holding it in and going a little bit further back so we don't have quite a sharp crease forming in there. As it starts setting, I'm moving further back and forward onto the brim itself, holding it in. Let's go ahead and work on the other side here. Right now we're getting just a basic shape set in. Again, it kind of spits, you see, as I pull away, so that way I get the steam rolling first. There you go. You do not want that dry heat. There we go. Now we're just going to keep going. And we're going to go ahead and set on both sides here. Kind of same thing. Get it rolling. Go a little bit further in. Now as I want the indent, I'm going to go a little bit more pinpoint. And this, and just hold it in place till it sets. I'm moving my way down along the brim here, so we don't have a sharp kind of crease just randomly in the hat here. This way it looks nice and even and has a good even flow from one part of the style element to the other. You don't have to work fast, just work very methodical. See, I'm using my palms to give it a nice even curl in. So it kind of gives the sides of the brim a little bit of a taller look. Let's go ahead and set in our pull down over the eyes here. Again, same thing. We're going to start bit by bit. Now let's go ahead and re-steam our crown again. This way it softens everything in one go so we're not having weird creases. It kind of helps the whole fabric pull together. We're kind of setting in a final shaping now. Giving it a final steam here to kind of relax any creases or wrinkles. And there we go, pretty easy. Just go step by step and look how good that looks. Oh yeah, I like the shape. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it done.
So now we got everything set up here. We of course got our working stuff here from Boot Barn. Not an exact affiliate of Boot Barn directly, though I do love working with them, especially the Tukwila store. Check them out. Links below for anything and any tools that you see used here today on this episode or any one of my episodes. You're more than welcome to use those links. I want to present you guys the best stuff that I have and give you guys the option to choose it or not. However, every little bit, of course, helps the channel, especially that I became an incidental full-time YouTuber after being laid off. So help a brother out if you wouldn't mind. Anyway, we got our brushes, we got our stiffener, we got our waterproofer, we got all that, we got our sponges, we got some rope to do custom band work, kind of get all this wear marks and sweat stains and everything kind of off the thing here, and then go ahead and get her re-stiffened and of course waterproofed. That's the key thing. We got to get her all brushed up as well too. As you guys have seen before, we've kind of done the same shtick overall, but I'm going to show you guys again one more time how to do your overall hat maintenance after all that hard work of shaping it. I mean, look at this beautiful thing right here. I mean, you can't tell me that that does just not look so sick with that kind of mild gust to it, low crown, that beautiful tight pencil, almost bullhorn curl right here with the indents, nice tight pull down over the eyes, and of course a pull down over the back to give it that outback sort of outdoorsman look. I think it looks just absolutely sexy, and I think we're going to have a great time with this hat. I like this design much better than the previous designs, iterations that we had done. So I think this is going to be great. Let's go ahead and grab our stuff. We're going to have to smooth out our kind of fluffed up edges over here. You can see how it's kind of fluffed and stained all over the place here. We got to work those in. And I don't know, maybe at some point we might do a little bit of leathering on this thing, because that is a process you could do with either a torch, or of course you can even do it, yeah, just with a sander as well too. We have those two options. We're going to take our rough side here of our drywall sponge, and we're just going to go ahead and start working over wherever it's kind of stained. Blend in those scuffs, a little bit more scuffing and stuff to make it look a little more roughed and ready. Especially right here on the very tip of it. Look at that. That is looking sexy already. Woo, doggy. Hey, girl, down here on the bayou, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, chicken butt. I'll tell you what. Oh, kind of knock the whole crown down a little bit here, because you can see how much where we didn't work. You see the fuzzies rising up. So I want to fuzz that down a little bit. It's okay to have some scratches on there because that makes it look like it's been everywhere, man. We use the smooth side of the brush here, or the sponge. Kind of smooth it all down again. And we're going to go just unidirectional. Again, remember, you're like petting a cat. You pet the cat multiple ways or its hair is going to stand on end. And every man needs to know how to pet a cat, if you know what I mean. We're using the smooth edge right now. Kind of give it a little bit of a blend. Blend it in, blend it in. And this doesn't take long. I mean, you could do this in a couple of hours just by taking your time and doing it carefully. See already, it kind of blends it in nice and good, gives it a few little scratches here into the fuzz. We can work that out a little bit. Show the top here. Because you want to look like you've been crawling through the brush, climbing every which way. There we go. Look at that. hat. You want as absolutely as clean of a surface as you could possibly get, which even though we already stiffened this after steaming, which is what you want to do after you kind of get your shaping in place, because then you want it to hold that shape, right? That's why it's nice and stiff now. And then you just want to let it air dry. Just hang it up, let it air dry, make sure it doesn't touch nothing. And then now you can go ahead and start doing your chewing in, your texturing, all that other good stuff there. Look at that. It's just, it boggles the mind, man. It's amazing what you could do just with your own hands. Blend a little spot in a little more. And again, now with your final pass over of your brush, you're gonna have to go unidirectional. Keep all those furs down. And unidirectional doesn't necessarily mean in the same direction across all the axes of the hat here. It just means unidirectional based on which way your fibers are running. So if your fibers are running some parts back, you're going backwards, then on the other side, you want to repeat that pattern, go with the fiber grains. If you want to stand up more, of course, you go against. Because again, this is just natural fiber, right? It's going to be kind of a little bit all over the place. It's not going to be all in one necessarily certain direction, especially that it's a pressed fiber, meaning that it's going to kind of have different layers going in different directions. So you want to find which way each layer goes and replicate that same movement relative to the fibers, not relative necessarily to the whole overall hat. That already looks so crisp. Yeah, it just looks so crisp already. Let's go ahead and give her another quick stiffening. Again, always make sure that you mix up your stiffener here, because otherwise it could glom up and come out as globs and dribbles. Again, just like painting a car, you want it to go in a very, very thin spray overall. About a few inches away. I give it a little bit of a tightening up. Want to make sure you have a good even spray coming out. If it starts jamming up on you or glomming up, give it a second and let it clear out. We're just going to go ahead and let that air dry while we go ahead and work on our band. It's going to look pretty damn sick. And we're going to leave the original band on there. And the reason is, not only does it help hold the shape of the hat, because it's stitched into place, but it also gives us the option to be able to just pop this thing off quick and go a little bit more cleaner if we want to. Change up for the situation. And that's the beauty about these type of hats. They're not just fashion statements, they are in fact functional tools that also make you look hella good. So that's kind of what we need to do, is be able to have a tool that can go from one thing to another. That again fits into our whole budget philosophy, right? We're not here to buy necessarily one hat for every single occasion, although I kind of did that already. But that's my own prerogative. The whole point is to save you as much money as humanly possible. I usually like to have this kind of tied behind when I do these more outdoorsman style hats. I think it just looks a little bit more in line with the kind of design philosophy. Instead of on the side, on the left side, like a more traditional buckle or style element. Oh yeah, I think that is the key right there. All right, let's try her on. Oh yeah. Hi. I think that's the winner right there, man. That looks so good. Holy crap, man. That looks the way it needs to look. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get this hat back on. All right, well, let's go ahead. Everything's all dry to the touch. Make sure she's a clean surface here. Again, you want to go with your fibers. Now, especially that you're doing your final sweep, you want to go with the fibers if you want that more flatter look, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to go parallel with the fibers along their grain. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's in the same direction all around the hat. It's in the directional of the grain itself. Look at that. Can you imagine it used to look like this? And now it looks like this? All done by hand, by us here at home. And you could do this too. $90 investment, whatever rope you have. This optional, I probably wouldn't even get it at this point now for this process. And there you go, man. Can't ask for anything better. And now every time everyone sees my hats, they're like, that is an awesome custom hat. Where did you get it? I said, I didn't. I made it. Well, designed it myself. And did my own custom hat shaping. It's a Cody James, $60 to $90, 3X felt hat from Boot Barn, off the shelf, reshaped, beautifully done. Look at that. Let's go ahead and waterproof it. And then we'll go ahead and let her dry. That's basically it, man. There we go, we got her done. Make sure you have a clean surface, because you don't want this to be adhered in there. And again, same thing, like you're painting a car.
You want to give yourself plenty of space and a good even spray. So make sure your stuff sprays out even. And there we go. Now the silicone waterproofer I usually like to work in a little bit because it will leave a little globs here and there. And if you're unsure how it's going to react on your fabric, test it on a very, very small place first. And then you can see if it's going to react to your fabric. Now this brand right here does not react usually with any fabric, so it's very, very safe. Again, from Boot Barn, not expensive. You can do tons of hats for months, years on end even, and away you go. We're going to use our brush and just work in those little droplets there because they can make a little bit of a spot, which after all this hard work we don't want. So again, we're going to just pet into the direction of the fabric here. Kind of pick one direction in relation to the actual fabric file. And you always want to do the underside of your hat as well too, because that's where all the sweat staining comes from. Because you will sweat, and sweat is humidity. Let me get that fuzz off of there. And there you go. Look at that, all DIY. Slightly modified gust top here. Tight pinch on the front there, kind of fedora-esque style, outdoorsman style. Steep pull down across the eyes, pull down across the back. Tight little bull horns right here, fuzzy style. And look at that. A little bit of, light custom band work. All DIY, all budget. We didn't spend a single buck more than the price of the hat itself because we had all this shit at home. And if you did, about $2.50 for a roll that size, $15 for steam iron, and you can do every single hat all custom like this. Check that out. So we're gonna let her dry, let her cure, and that's the end of that chapter, man. We're gonna rock it and just wear it out on the down and look freaking wild and crazy. Now, here's the other part. Don't forget to stay tuned for our next episode where we take this right off the shelf, short brim cowboy hat in chocolate, tall crown right here, and we're gonna turn it into a Rip Wheeler inspired hat. Basically looking exactly like Rip Wheeler with a little bit of lighter color, wear patterns, everything. It's about the same size. And we're gonna, of course, do our own little at-home band work that we can quickly, versatility-wise, take it on and off, change up the look whenever we want to. And there you go. We're gonna make this Rip Wheeler style, just like this one, right up here. So don't forget to catch that episode next of Western Wear. So there you guys have it. Don't forget to stay cowboy, stay riding, stay wild. Woo! And don't forget to join us next time for when we do our Rip Wheeler inspired short brim. Whoo, oh yeah, it's gonna look sexy as all hell, I tell you what, man. And then don't forget, of course, to check out this next video over here for our previous cowboy hat where we did this guy. And then don't forget to check out the playlist over here for the rest of the Western Wear series. And then don't forget to click this big fat ugly face right here for the rest of the 5 series, including our Creator Blueprint series where I guide you through everything I've learned being a YouTuber for 14 months. Yeah, short term, but you know what? I've learned what I've learned, and I'm going to teach you to it, including very important tutorial stuff that you don't want to miss, including how to avoid scams, all that stuff. Don't forget to check out Truck Stuff, where we do our DIY self-reliance, self-survival, self-education, do-it-yourself for the automotive DIY crowd, and DIY everything, where we do DIY everything else, including the Homestead Vlog series therein. Yes, we are a multi-content channel. Think of it as like Discovery Channel on the TV, then you have different shows and different series therein. Weird system, but it seems to work. Anyway, don't forget to join us next time. Don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to also, just join up our Discord too. Join the community, share your experiences, share your knowledge, share the things that you like about Western Wear or any of the other topics that we cover, or just come and chat, whatever, it doesn't matter. We like to see you there. Anyway, good community, join up. I'll see you all next time. Click the links down below if you want to check out all the equipment that we have and the Instagram and any other links, and if you need to get a hold of me, it's right there for you. I'll see you all next time. So stay wild. Woo!